Yeah. There's getting some. So we can start the. So we'll start the night being. Well, because she's got to take somebody. So she actually now she can hire. Right, go ahead, so. That's just right. So decision. And so, yeah, of course, my name is so also. That's what is right. It's scary because it's a that's like money right so sometimes there are that's it's because your radiation goes so needs some Good morning. Good morning, sir. How are you? Good. Yeah. Yeah, move over. No, all moved up. Yeah, no, we're going to have Thursday. Right now. Yeah. You know that. Of the year, just that thing. What? Oh, yeah. Now, where are we gonna put? Right, I had also previous. Oh, yeah. I'm sure I really need one this soon, but I'll take it. And that's something? Yeah. You know, the head coach was a former yeah, Zach Harrell. Yeah, he's a really good guy, good coach. You know, his dad was a longtime coach at Ennis. And then it was brother. So successful quarterback at Texas Tech and a decent NFL career. What was the career back at? His name is Graham. Yeah, so. Yeah, there's good morning. Harold, good morning. Definitely been involved in football for a while. Oh, it does sound like it. He's a good guy. He's very enthusiastic. You know, honestly, my cousin work friends. Well, he was there, no, that. He was there, he was supposed to put all the troubles. Put as much name in. Yeah. That trouble got fired. Of course, Mike Leach, yeah. Not big, but it's, yeah, okay. And that, all the guys in the run back, you know, the bullet. Morning. Bless you. How are you? Well, because of these friends, this boy, but. Yes. You just coming on the scene there. You're right. Yeah, you're right about that. I'll move over. Safety is outside, supposed to represent our market. You almost here? So is Commissioner Barton going to be here with us today?
No,
He's not.
he's in
Okay.
Alfred.
Okay.
He's what?
He's at the conference.
He's at the judges and commissioners conference.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna call this meeting to order. And I have asked Commissioner Williams to open us with our invocation. Will you please stand?
Let's pray. Father, we're so thankful for the kindness that you've shown us, the direction that you've given us, care that you have showered down on us. We ask that we would make decisions that would honor you That we pray, Father, that we could come together in a spirit of unity, and that the divisions that are between us, Father, you would let us see those things that bind us together, those commonalities that we have, Father. Pray that you would strengthen each one of us, that you would watch our hearts, watch our minds, cover our mouths, Father. We bless you. We bless you for your strength and the encouragement that you've given to us. And we thank you today. In the name of your Son, we pray. Amen.
Amen. All right. Pledge to the American flag. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
pledge to the Texas flag.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you. You may be seated. Call this meeting to order. We do have a quorum. Only our Commissioner Barton is not here. He's in a conference. So is there any general announcements?
Yes, I'd like to make a general announcement. We are unfortunately losing a very important member of our commissioners team. And I would like to say thank you to Lisa for all the work that she has done in taking care of us and making sure that the commissioners have everything that we need to effectively do our job. And she's tendered her resignation for the end of the month. And I was hoping that the end of the month might be April Fool's Day, but in fact it is not. And she's decided that she knows that she has pressing matters, and we respect that, and we appreciate her, and we just wanted to recognize her all here today. I think everybody in the county joins me in saying thank you for everything that you've done for us, and we look forward to visiting with you and seeing you again as it comes through. But we didn't want to let this Commissioners Court meeting pass without publicly recognizing.
That's right. Awesome. Thank you very much. Other general announcements, we do have early voting is going on right now this week and next week. This week it's 8 to 5. I'm looking at you, Susan.
Yeah.
8 to 5.
Next week is also 8 to 5, except for Thursday and Friday will be 7 to 7.
7 to 7. And there are 3 early voting locations. There's the library, which is the standard one. There's also the movie house in Van, and there's the community center in Wills Point. So very good. Thank you. All right. Are there any public comments? All right. If there are no public comments, we'll move on to item number 4, except we will wait on what timing? Perfect timing. Item number 4, discuss and consider a recommendation from the Van Zandt Fire Marshal to implement a countywide bird ban and authorize Van Zandt County Fire Marshal to rescind the bird ban upon improved conditions. And Mr. Rapp, do you want to address that?
So Kevin Palmer's been looking pretty closely at the KDVI. That's going to be the drought index for the county. Average right now is be 623. Lows would be 566, highs 680. Drought index basically goes from 0 to 800, 0 being basically in the water, 800 being absolutely no water whatsoever. So we're averaging about 623 currently. Typically we wouldn't go ahead and recommend it at that level quite yet, but the overall fuel level out there is a little bit higher this year. The rates for the beef have went up, so everybody's sold the beef off, which means nobody's looking at the grass. Now we have the higher hay levels or everything else out there. As y'all see, we have 161 counties currently that already have a ban. I talked to Wood County and Smith County as of yesterday. They're gonna hold off for just a little bit longer. It sounds like the other ones around us will go ahead and do it this week as well. So we're not in the complete like ultra high danger level, but it is steadily increasing. So it's probably a good idea to go ahead and get in front of it before things get too crazy.
Have we had fires, field fires over the last couple of weeks?
We've had a couple. We haven't had a crazy amount. We've had two that I've worked where they swear up and down, they go out there and put water on it, everything's good to go, so they think. They go inside and they actually spread it in their property. So it's in the danger zone. It's not a high crazy danger, but we are climbing better to get ahead of it.
I've been keeping up with the numbers randomly, and we're not at a high volume of fire calls by no means. And that I know of, we've only had in the county one fairly large fire, and it was just this past week south of town here. And the main reason they had so much trouble with it got in the woods.
Yeah. I saw it. I went past it.
Yeah.
It was on 19.
But all of the others, like, I'm speaking like for Grass Lane, Edgewood, Wills Point, area. Normally, whenever they have a pretty big number or larger fires, the area, the next two of them, fire departments called out for mutual aid. And what few I've seen, the mutual aids have been disregarded before they ever got on scene. So that to me tells me that the fires weren't a lot to them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like I say, the numbers have been really low as far as actual fires.
Well, hopefully that's due to folks out there being more cautious.
Yeah.
I think it's a good move to put this burn ban in place. Even if it's just for a short time, because I think we need to publicize the fact that we have to be cautious. We have to be careful. We don't want a bunch of fire calls.
Preventative, mate.
Yeah, the north winds is drier wind too. Like you start having northers come in, it gets pretty dry quick. Like, it's just how it is.
All right, is there a motion to recommend or to implement a countywide burn ban and authorize the Van County Fire Marshal Office to rescind the burn ban upon approved conditions?
I'd make that motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right, is there any further discussion? Not all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Everybody said aye, correct? You sustain.
I'm not gonna.
You're not gonna vote.
No.
All right, I will vote in favor of it to give us our 3-1 majority. All right, thank you,
Yes, sir.
Andrew, appreciate it. All right, now we will move into our public hearing on the assignment of a private activity bond authority to Texas Department of Housing and Community Affairs in conjunction with the East Texas Housing Finance Corporation. So, and I believe we have several people joining us via Zoom. And if I can figure out how to move my screen over there. How do I get back over here? It went back to the other screen. One moment, please. All right, I'm not sure where the audio is going to come from. So, all right, is there gentlemen, can y'all unmute? We're ready to listen to you. And we just want to verify the sound.
This is Scott Fletcher. We can hear you. I can hear you great.
Okay.
And good morning, Andy Perhoda with Bracewell.
Okay. Very good. So, we had a meeting, we discussed this at our last meeting and were, wanted to get more additional input. And so if one of you two can kind of give us the background of what we're talking about doing today, that would be great.
Yeah, Judge Anderson, did you want to start, or do you want me to just dive in? Judge Anderson's on.
We may have lost Judge Anderson, Scott. So I guess we can
Okay.
probably just launch into it and be ready for any questions that the esteemed commissioners may have.
Perfect. So my name is Scott Fletcher. I'm the Deputy Executive Director of Housing Finance at Texas Department of Housing and Community Affairs. I want to start by saying thank you so much for reviewing this, for inviting us to participate and answer any questions that you may have regarding our HSC program, what we do, how the dollars flow, and how this all kind of fits together. I had the pleasure of attending an East Texas Council of Governments meeting earlier this year, and I provided this very presentation that we're going to go over. But since it's been a while, I want to we'll go through that slide deck pretty quickly, and certainly want to. This is about answering your questions, not me being on a soapbox. So I want you to feel free to stop me at any time and ask me any questions, but I just kind of want to give an oversight of the program and why we do it and why it's beneficial and why so many of the local HFCs throughout the state participate. So basically every state in the country has a housing finance authority that does essentially the same thing we do at TDHCA. But unlike some other states, TDHCA, our mortgage revenue bond programs do not receive any money in federal, state, or local funding. Our bond and mortgage programs are entirely self-supporting. But like all HFAs, we do issue tax-exempt mortgage revenue bonds and use those bond proceeds to make below market rate mortgage loans to qualified first-time home buyers and veterans across the state. So a key point with that statement is revenue bonds, right? The bonds we issue are payable solely from the revenue generated from the underlying mortgage loans. Those get pulled into Ginnie Mae securities. Again, no state dollars are going to support that activity. What we do receive is an allocation of private activity bond volume cap. That is authority from the IRS to issue tax-exempt bonds for private activity purposes, which mortgage lending is considered a private activity. The IRS allocates volume cap to each state based on the population, and then the state will allocate that volume cap to various entities across the state to, in our case, for single-family mortgage revenue bonds, to promote single-family home ownership. And so as the state agency, TDHCA mortgage revenue bond program, we're allocated around 400 million each year. It obviously increases as the population of the state grows. However, we're issuing around 800 million in mortgage revenue bonds each year. And we're about to do 250 million in mortgage credit certificates. So and which is basically a dollar for dollar tax credit for home buyers. But so you can kind of see how the math is tricky, where we're allocated 400 million a year, and we support programs that are close to $1 billion a year. So what we're really talking about here is, the state's allocated volume cap to East Texas to promote home ownership in East Texas. And what we're talking about here is an allocation of or an assignment of 35 million from East Texas HFC to TDHCA. And the state of Texas gave that money to your community to support home ownership in East Texas. And so unless East Texas wish to do their own bond program or do an MCC program, participation in this program is really the only way to ensure that the volume cap that's assigned to East Texas actually gets used in your 14 counties. Why? Because once you make that assignment to us, we'll earmark $35 million in programs and mortgage loans and MCCs to be used in East Texas. We'll then commit our resources to marketing home ownership in your area. We'll do outreach programs to lenders, realtors, builders. We will provide the HFC with quarterly reporting showing exactly how those funds are being used, where they're being used, which will help you see trends and where home ownership is happening in the community. We'll feature a link to East Texas on our website that will link with local lenders, realtors. And then finally, we do have we set aside a budget for marketing, and East Texas will benefit from that marketing effort as well. So we have social media efforts that are just getting underway right now that are designed to promote home ownership. And I want to be very clear that if you choose not to participate, that's certainly the prerogative of it's absolutely not a problem. We understand that. But I want everyone to understand that volume cap doesn't go away, right? It just simply shifts or is given to another entity, and then your volume cap dollars will then go to support home ownership somewhere else in the state. Between us, with the way the populations are, your dollars probably go to support support mortgage loans and home ownership in Austin and Dallas and Houston and San Antonio. Not participating by not participating doesn't mean we're not going to make loans there. We will make loans wherever we can and wherever we are able to help throughout the state. So yes, people in your community are benefiting. They are taking advantage of this program already. The issue is, again, it goes back to my little math problem where I get 400 million a year, and I'm using $1 billion a year to support home ownership. At some point, we'll continue to lend until we can't. So I'm going to stop there really quickly before we get into the slide deck to answer any questions that anyone has. And then we'll go through the slide deck really quickly, which is more of a focus on East Texas and making sure we're on the same page in terms of the importance of home ownership in that area, what's currently happening, and where we see this going.
And Scott, sorry to step in. This is Andy Perhoda with
Absolutely.
Bracewell. I do just want to quickly emphasize a couple of things that Scott said there. This is a volume cap is a permission to issue tax exempt bonds. It is not a money contribution. There is no money that flows from the corporation or from its sponsors to TDHCA. TDHCA just utilizes this resource, which is a very limited resource, as Scott said, based on population and administered by the state and the federal income tax group to make mortgage loans within the state. So there's no actual obligation that shifts. The HFC, the sponsors have no monetary obligation whatsoever. You are just assigning the ability to issue these bond obligations within your community. It's TDHCA's debt. TDHCA will have all the obligation and reporting requirements therefore. And then another thing that Scott didn't mention very modestly is that TDHCA makes or uses a portion of its assets to make down payment assistance available to home buyers, and makes it very easy for people to buy homes. So this is a very important program statewide that I think really helps to increase and incentivize single family home ownership across the state, not just rental homes or other sorts of projects that could be done with volume cap.
Thanks, Andy. Really helpful.
So perhaps one of the things that we can do is, because we have seen a few slide decks. My name's Cliff Williams. I'm the commissioner for Precinct 2. Mr. Anderson characterized the program in this manner. He said that all of these dollars are still available in TDHCA. What this program does is it moves East Texas residents to the front of the line. So it's not actually an issue that 35 million additional dollars are available. What it says is that TDHCA then will move residents from our counties to the front of the line with relation to this, $35 million. Is that what you say?
So Andy might be a good person to answer this as well. So the process of volume cap gets pretty convoluted at the state level in terms of putting in reservations and then who's in line next. And so this is not, if you did not assign this to us, it would go into a pool. The pool that it would go into now.
Let me interrupt you just a moment. Is this $30 million? Is that available to TDHCA? And as Mr. Anderson mentioned, all this does is moves East Texas residents from the back of the line to the front of the line.
Scott, I'm happy to
incorrect?
kind of take the lead here. So
Yeah.
from a state perspective, there is a certain amount of volume cap, this limited resource that is set aside for single-family home mortgage loans for that program. There are other sorts of priorities that the state has identified, including multifamily residential development, industrial development, and those projects get a different portion. So from a state perspective, there's a pool that's assigned for single-family home ownership. TDHCA of that pool gets a certain portion, and local HFCs get another portion. I think TDHCA's is a third, and the local HFCs get 55-ish%. They get split statewide. So what this program does, TDHCA is going to use its 1/3 to issue bonds statewide every year. What this program does is allow the HFCs to reserve a portion of their set aside and transfer that over to TDHCA to ensure that home ownership is being prioritized in those local jurisdictions. As Scott mentioned, the local HFCs could certainly issue their own debt. I represent several local HFCs, and I can tell you it is an extremely difficult process for a local HFC to issue its own bonds. TDHCA can do it a whole lot more efficiently. And that's why this program has developed and really works statewide to make sure that those dollars that were set aside statutorily are being used in those jurisdictions.
So is this new money that wouldn't ordinarily be available to East Texas, or is it a function of moving East Texas residents to the front of the line?
It ensures that East Texas residents are benefiting from the program. So yes, to the front of the line, you will get a set aside of TDHCA's loans that are made in your jurisdiction up to the amount of the assignment.
So these dollars wouldn't be available to East Texas residents through a regular TDHCA program under normal circumstances. But if we don't agree with this and we don't pass this today to basically donate our population to the numbers overall for TDHCA, these dollars would not be available to us in East Texas.
The 17 counties.
The 17 counties.
That's essentially correct. If you guys choose not to, if the court chooses not to participate and the HFC does not participate, the dollars would flow back in and be used for other purposes. And I can't tell you what those would be, but again, it could be multifamily housing, it could be industrial development, it could be student loans, or a number of other priorities under the state.
The genesis of the question, the foundation of the question is whether or not this removes money that will be available to East Texas just generally. Are there funds that will not be available? Now, I believe in the presentation that you made earlier, you said TDHCA will still make loans to East Texas. So let's just pivot a little on our conversation here. You said TDHCA will still make loans. They'll still do things in East Texas. And is there a dollar amount that TDHCA has available to East Texans for that in a general year?
No. So it's a great question, sir. It's so we make loans across the state. We use our own volume cap. We use volume cap recycling. There are various things that we do to make sure that we have loans available across the state. There could be a scenario, right, where we simply run out of funds. We just don't have any more volume cap, and we would have to stop. And that's where East Texas would lose, right? Because we would have to stop. So by making this assignment, what I do is I say, okay, I've got $35 million that I need to make in those 17 counties, right? That's what I have to do. And I'll set that aside and I'll make sure I'll track it. I provide a quarterly report to you guys saying, hey, this is what we've done to date. This is where we are. This is how much of the volume cap has been utilized. And if we get to a point where you've assigned 35 million and I have 50 million in loans to make up there, I'm going to still make those loans so long as I have volume cap. But this is about, like to Judge Anderson's point, it's about being first in line, right? If I don't have it, I can't make it. And so this is just a set aside to say, hey, this is volume cap that came from East Texas that I want to make sure gets used in East Texas. And so you actually do get earmarked in reporting, and it's tracked and it's marketed and promoted.
Have you run out of volume cap since 2020?
We've come close. I mean, I think if we did not have this volume cap assignment program, we would be in a very difficult situation. And so what we have to do in that situation then is start issuing taxable debt. That raises the overall cost of our debt, which means it raises the overall rates on the mortgage and makes home ownership less affordable. So we've not run out because we manage it. Right. And we've managed it through some issuance of taxable debt. We've initiated a volume cap recycling program, which brings in around 100 million that we recycle. And so it's a fantastic question. And that's part of why this is so important to us, because we really want to make sure that we have these resources available to people and first-time home buyers and veterans across the state.
Well, let me, just from my perspective, and I'll let some of the other commissioners chime in here as we go along, but from my perspective, there are two issues that we have here. It's my understanding from Mr. Anderson that Van Zandt County's been involved with this program. They've been a member of this East Texas housing development since 1991. And in 1991, when Van Zandt County agreed to be a part of this, they were given 2 seats on the board. During that period, those seats were, should be given for a purpose. They were given for a purpose so that Van Zandt County residents and the leadership of Van Zandt County would have an opportunity to know what's going on in those agencies that we're associated with. But we had a board member that came to us when we met regarding this last year, and he indicated that during his time, there had been no board meetings because everything was done through the executive committee, number one. And number two, he'd received no financial information. So you comment on reports, but we don't know. We don't know how the entity spends its money, what they retain, what they pay their people, what they pay for services, et cetera. And so we don't want to necessarily just offhandedly sign our name to an entity or an organization that we don't have some financial information back from, and that we don't believe that the people that we have appointed to those boards have any input or say whatsoever. So I think those are the two areas that are most concerning to us. Yes, it's great that these monies are available. Yes, it is great that this is a super program, et cetera, but you're asking Van Zandt County to put our name on something that other people, as Mr. Anderson said, they just summarily agree to it because it's a good deal. But we're interested, leadership of Van Zandt County, for myself, I'm interested in knowing whether or not we have representation on the board and those people's voices are heard. And number three, that we are actually receiving some of the financial information back. So those reports that you mentioned are one of our main concerns, and that's something we haven't seen.
So it sounds like there's a lot there. I don't know if someone else should answer, but in terms of the reporting, we only provide the reporting on the lending activity that's done through our program, and we only provide that reporting to those that are participating. Otherwise, it's part of the broader state initiatives. We could always provide you with details. I mean, that's what we've done here. You've not participated in the past. What we've done is with this report on the presentation is provide you with the lending activity that's happened without you being a participant.
But we have participated. We've been a part of that group since 1991, and we don't get those financial reports.
So Commissioner Williams, just to kind of backstep there a little bit, this HFC has not participated with TDHCA before. So the HFC, the reporting between the HFC and the counties is a different issue, I believe, than what Scott's talked about. As this HFC, if it becomes a party or a partner in this program, it will begin to receive the reporting from TDHCA and will have more visibility at the HFC and board level to the loans that are being made.
Quite right, quite right. The TDHCA has we appreciate you. We appreciate what you're doing in Texas. Quite honestly, just from a personal business owner standpoint, TDHCA's explanation of how to perfect mobile homes on properties could be streamlined perhaps a little bit, but that's a discussion for a different day.
I can put you in touch with the right folks on that one as well.
Yeah. So my concern is with the East Texas group, not with TDHCA, and so I directed that question to the wrong individual. My concern is the East Texas Housing Finance Corporation and not TDHCA.
May I address that point? This is Judge Anderson. Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. The East Texas Housing Finance Corporation, as has been stated, it was organized in 1981. Van Zandt County joined it in 1991. Okay. As Mr. Fletcher has noted, I mean, we have not participated as an entity in this program before. Therefore, we do not get any reports on what is happening within this jurisdiction. That will change now with respect to the participation by TDHCA in this area. Whether Van Zandt County chooses to be a part of that, that's up to Van Zandt County. With respect to the East Texas Housing Finance Corporation, 18 counties, including every county in the Council of Governments, plus Angelina, Nacogdoches, and Tyler. That covers 13,000 square miles. There are 34 directors. I can tell you, based on my 30-odd years experience with this, it is extremely difficult to obtain a quorum because a lot of these people are county commissioners that are on, or some county judges, the like of that. We have problems scheduling. Basic familiarization with the corporate structure, which I have been involved with over 40 years, dictates that in situations where you have a cumbersome board of directors, such as the 34 members, which I did not set that up. That was set up by bond counsel in 1981. Because I can assure you, I've never created a board of directors with over 9 people. But in any event, an executive committee functions in the absence of the directors. The executive committee has done so in this situation. There are several transactions that have occurred in Smith County with multifamily and in Gregg County with multifamily. And as a practical matter, those, Angelina County doesn't get notice of that. Van Zandt County doesn't get notice of that either. Okay. The counties affected meet with the executive committee of the board of directors and action is taken or not taken. With respect to the financial condition of the corporation, the expenses are basically around $3,800 to $4,000 a month. All of that is defrayed by investment income, which the corporation has. Van Zandt County has never paid a penny to East Texas Housing Finance Corporation, nor will it. And as a practical matter, this decision is yours, gentlemen. Whether you're in or you're out, I can tell you, as I wrote to Judge, the executive committee has stated that either these are signed by November 1, or they're not. If they're not, then those counties which choose not to sign, are not going to be participating in this program, number one, and they're not going to be a part of the corporation. I represent 9 counties in the Architects Council of Governments and 17 here. That's 26 counties. We have everyone in the Architects COG has joined. We have one county in East Texas which is not yet joined, and that's Van Zandt County. Cherokee County has got it on their agenda for October 28th. If either one of you choose not to participate in this transaction, then in order not to prejudice the roughly 1 million people left within the East Texas Housing Finance Corporation, you will not be a member any longer of the East Housing Finance Corporation. That is pursuant to a request which was made, and I've explained to Judge Reese before that there is no unilateral withdrawal from this corporation. It was created by 17 counties, and the counties have to consent to your join. The counties have to your withdrawal. The executive committee has consented to your withdrawal in the event that you do not execute the assignment. If there are any other questions, I'd be pleased to answer.
Okay, I would like to summarize what I believe Mr. Williams' issue is, and mine is too, at the same time. While we have no objection to this particular program and supporting it, our objection is to the lack of transparency with East Texas Housing Finance Corporation, with the public and with their own board. And Mr. Williams, do you believe that a way that if the East Texas Housing Finance Corporation would provide a slot on the executive committee for a member of Van Zandt County, in order that we could get the transparency that doesn't seem to be coming, is that something that would satisfy you?
That would be helpful. What I don't want to happen is for there to then be created the gold level executive committee, which does away with the executive committee because they can't get, the 5 or 6 people to meet. We didn't make the rules that said that each county got 2 people on there and it put 34 people. But when we have 2 people on that board and they choose to make decisions with the smaller group, then it means that those 2 places that they've given us are gone. So yes, it would be helpful if they would put one of our people on the executive committee so that we would have the transparency.
Well, that would, if I may address that, Judge Reese, that is a decision that would have to be made by the executive committee, or failing that, the board of directors. So, the bylaws provide that officers are members of the executive committee.
So the executive committee decides who's on the executive committee. Is that what you're saying?
No, the bylaws, which were passed by the entire board.
The question is, the executive committee decides who's on the executive committee. That's the question. Not what the bylaws state.
I was trying to answer that question, sir.
I'm waiting.
The bylaws provide for the members of the executive committee: the president, vice president, secretary, treasurer, and assistant treasurer. Those are the bylaws, okay? Those were passed by the board of directors. The executive committee.
When did the board of directors decide on the current executive committee? I would assume the board of directors gets to pick the executive committee or approve it anyway.
I think that was in 1922. Excuse me, 2022.
2022.
It's just a bad precedent to set a government entity with no accountability making decisions. I mean, it's just, the program is probably a pretty good program, but when there's no voice for the people, it bothers me.
Okay.
We're talking about an executive committee that.
You might introduce yourself.
Oh yeah, this is Mitch Curtis. I'm Commissioner Precinct 1. It just sets a bad precedent in our government that there's a group of people that we don't know with no accountability. No, we can't get any information out. One of our people that were on your board suggested we not be part of it. It's because he couldn't get any information. It's just a bad way to do business.
Well.
I
that's
second
your- the
Well,
25
my concern, going off the slide deck that we got before, it says, in under the HFC benefits, your HFC receives an ongoing fee on 4.75 basis points on all the loans originated within your jurisdiction. And my concern is, how is that origination fee collected by East Texas Housing Finance Corporation being spent?
It's not
And there's
collected.
nothing. Go ahead.
It's not collected by the East Texas Housing Finance Corporation. It's collected by the TDHCA upon the origination of bonds, not upon the issuance of the bonds, but upon the origination of mortgages within this jurisdiction. Upon the origination of mortgages within this jurisdiction, then the TDHCA will credit the East Texas Housing Finance Corporation with 4.75 basis points. Mr. Fletcher, is that correct?
You may be on mute.
You're
Scott, I
muted.
think, can you hear me, everyone?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
See if Scott can get back on, but just to kind of step in where I think he was about to speak, the origination fee is only when the HFC begins to participate in this program. It has not yet, and so that origination 4.75 basis points has not been paid to the HFC, and won't until the program begins.
You know, it's my impression that people don't generally do things for free. What we're trying to determine is how much money has the East Texas Housing Finance Corporation, how much have they made over the last several years, and how much have they spent? How is that money being used? And we're not getting that information. We don't get it through when we make requests in email. That's not a TDHCA issue, and it may not even be an attorney issue. What we are saying is, how is East Texas Housing Finance making their money, and how are they spending that money?
Okay, let me try to address that if I might, Commissioner Williams. As Mr. Prahota has already pointed out, I mean, East Texas Housing Finance Corporation has not received anything from any TDHCA program.
Mr. Anderson, can I interrupt you for just one moment?
Yes,
You're saying that East Texas Housing Finance over the last several years has had zero money that you have received from any loan? Tell me about every dollar of revenue that East Texas Housing, not associated with this program, but in total, how much has East Texas Housing Finance Corporation accumulated?
since its inception.
We can just do it over the last couple of years. See, that's the point, is that we're asking questions about what East Texas Housing Finance has received in revenue for everything, and you're not telling us what that number is.
Well, I can't go back through 35 years of history. At this point, I can tell you that at one point in time, bonds were issued. Those bonds.
Can we do last year? Can you tell us how much money East Texas Housing Finance made last year and where that money has gone to?
The money is held by the East Texas Housing Finance Corporation. All they've got to pay is the expenses, their monthly expenses, which run about $4,000 a month. Okay, the corporation has in its asset base around 2.9 million at this point. Those were as a result of the redemption of bonds and the investment of those bond proceeds from the redemption in investments. You know, I can't go through those with you, Commissioner, you know, in the course of a 5-minute presentation as to what the financial condition is. I can tell you what the bottom line is, which I've just done.
That's the problem.
That's what we've been asking. We've been asking, how does TDHCA make their money to pay their people? And where's the money today?
Well, I can't address how TDHCA makes its money to pay the people.
No, I'm not saying, I'm talking about East Texas Housing Finance. Yeah. East
You
Texas
just said
Housing
that.
Finance, TDHCA, we're good with them.
Okay, you just said, how does TDHCA make their money? And I was just saying, I can't address that. I've just addressed.
I'm not asking you to address TDHCA. I'm talking about East Texas Housing Finance.
Okay, I explained that to you with respect to bond redemptions. There was about an $80,000 amount paid in 1992 or three for a bond redemption, and since that period of time, there have been a couple of more. But principally, those funds have gone into investments, and those investments have been
Are you audited by third parties? Is
advantageous
East
to
Texas
the
Housing Finance audited by third party?
I'm sorry, we were talking over one another. Would you repeat the question?
Is East Texas Housing Finance audited by a third party?
Not at this point, no.
Okay. I don't have any additional questions. I appreciate all of your participation, and I apologize for during my questioning when I said TDHCA and meant East Texas Housing Finance. That's my error. I apologize.
All right. Cindy, did you have anything that you wanted to present or say?
No, I mean, it's,
Cindy Maloof is a, yes.
So, one of the two.
Right.
So we don't hear much. We hear about once a year. I understand the frustration about, not knowing what is happening on financial, basis. I like the program as far as the state level, and I talked with Scott Fletcher yesterday. I would hate to see us get out of something because we have a local kind of obstruction here that hopefully we could work through. Because if you get out, you're not gonna get back in. My understanding is that we can get these loans through a general pool, but when those pool funds are gone, they're gone, and if you're in this program, that's where the set aside is. With the cost of housing now and people, trying to get into, home ownership, I just think we need to keep all avenues that we can. But I agree with you that there needs to be more involvement and there needs to be more transparency on what goes on.
Okay. Thank you, Cindy. I contacted, in the slide deck that we got before, it lists the lenders that have participated in this program before. One of them was Fairway Independent Mortgage Corporation with $1.2 million in 6 loans. And I contacted Monica Rucker, who's our local representative from Fairway Mortgage, and asked her, about this. And they participate. She participates in the first Texas home mortgage program on a regular basis with a lot of the loans that they give. And she did indicate that there are times at which when they go to participate, there's no money in that fund. And what this $35 million would do would help give them money in that fund to participate if need be. So I'm just passing that information along. Are there any other questions for our hosts or our guests? So is there
Close it. It's a public hearing.
oh, okay. Any more comments? Anybody else would like to make before I close this public hearing?
Could I, Your Honor, Richard Anderson here, I'd like.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Okay, I would like to express on behalf of the corporation its appreciation for Mr. Scott Fletcher and Mr. Andy Prahota for being able to appear before you today and for the patience which they have demonstrated in making time out to explain the advantages of this program to the members of the Van Zandt County Commissioners Court. We appreciate them very much for that. Scott, Andy, thank you very much. I think you've been very helpful. That's all I have, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you very much. I'm going to close our public hearing now at 9:53. And we will move into item number 6, and that is discuss and consider a resolution approving the assignment of the private activity bond authority to the Texas Department of Housing Community Affairs in conjunction with the East Texas Housing Finance Corporation. So is the only thing that I heard Commissioner Williams would be might be agreeable to is if we were to put a representative of Van Zandt County on the executive, or we would get a representative of Van Zandt County on the executive committee in order to get the transparency that we're currently not getting. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct. Again, at the communication we had last year, no financial information had been provided to either of the board members regarding the programs or where, the origination fees that from loans. I'm assuming the East Texas Housing Group, they get a portion. What's being paid? Who's being paid? Where's this money coming from? TDHCA says they don't have, they over the last 5 years when real estate has been substantially moving, booming in some cases. Now, the last 2 years have been a little ugly. I'll grant you that. But prior to that, interest rates were low, things were happening. They didn't run out of any money. They didn't run out of any projects. And the one mortgage broker that I spoke to about this said, dealing with some of these programs, you have to tick every single box in order to qualify for the program. You can't go, you can't have this, you can't have too much money, you can't have too few people in your household. You've got narrow alleyways that you have to stay in order to qualify for a lot of these programs. And I want to make every possible program available to the people of Van Zandt County. Absolutely. I want them to have the lowest interest rates, et cetera. But at the same time, it's very difficult to back an organization that I don't believe is providing the people of Van Zandt County with the information that they need to determine whether or not they're doing what they are supposed to be doing, and that nobody's being unjustly enriched from through what they're paying their board. Do the board members make any money? Do these executive board members receive a monthly or quarterly compensation? I don't know. The people who work at the East Texas Fund, what are they being paid? I don't know. So it's very easy for us to say, well, it doesn't cost us any money, et cetera. Let's just lend our head count for Van Zandt County over to them so that they'll have these funds available to them. If nobody can qualify for them, then it doesn't really do you much good. Certainly,
Also overtime mortgage lender. So those criteria that you're talking about, that is true. And that is the way that it works with low to moderate income loans. They are income based, they're asset based. You get so much, if you are a family of 5, you can make this amount of money. If you're just a family of 1, you can only make this amount of money. And again, this is from several years ago, but that's just underwriting. Yeah. So there's nothing wrong with that. That's just the way that the programs work. As far as the 4.75 basis points that they're getting, if we got 4.75 basis points on the entire 1.7 million that was done in Van Zandt County last year, that is $807. So we're not talking big dollars here. So we're talking very small amounts. So I agree with you that we need to have some more clarity and that we need to have more input. I would like to think nobody's doing anything wrong, but if we get that clarity, we can find out. If we back out, we'll never know, and we might miss out on opportunity going forward. So that's my 2 cents.
We had a meeting last year regarding this when and at that meeting, we indicated our displeasure with the transparency and with some of these things. And they didn't say a word. In fact, our name, Van Zandt County, is not even listed on the literature. Wasn't when they were asking us last year to participate in this. They didn't even indicate that they served Van Zandt County, and we had 2 people on the board. So with what's happened over the last year, they just haven't been responsive. We said we didn't want to participate last year, and they said we don't care, because they didn't say anything until this measure comes up about 30 days ago. And that would have been the time to say, you know what, you have questions. Let's see if we can answer those questions. Let's see if we can provide to you the information that what we've been doing and where this money has been going. And they just didn't reach out at all.
So, and that's where I believe that if our motion or that motion to approve this resolution is contingent on Van Zandt County getting a seat on the executive committee, that's going to tell us everything we need to know when they get it, because either they can do that, or if they are afraid of doing that to get to transparency, then they'll just drop us.
Who's gonna be on the executive committee if they let us in?
I'm fine with nominating our present member here to be on the executive committee. It's too late. It's too late. It's too late. Well, you know,
In the same.
I have no problem whatsoever if they provide to us the financial information. I would make a motion to approve the resolution contingent on us having somebody on the executive committee. And number 2, we see in the financial information for the corporation over for the East Texas Housing Finance Corporation over the last 5 years. I'd make that motion. I don't want to keep our people from having access to anything, but I want to make sure that our people have access to everything. I want us to have access to all of the information that we should have for our people to go back through and make sure that audited financials are at least received, or that our emails are responded to. And not that, look, you guys should do this because it's in your best interest.
Okay, I want to backtrack. The resolution, you should say that we would go ahead and pass the resolution on the condition that a representative from Van Zandt County is put on the executive committee ASAP, and that the past 5 years of financials from the East Texas Housing Finance Corporation be provided to the Commissioner's Court.
That's my motion.
Okay.
But at the same time, it sounds like we have come down to the time that if we don't go ahead and do it by November 1st, if I'm understanding it right, then we're automatically out.
No, that's not automatic. They'd have to get, they've already said that it's nearly impossible to get the board together, but yet they're going to be able to get together to kick us off, is what they're saying. Yeah. In the event that we don't choose to move forward with this, that at that point, they'll have the wherewithal to get a quorum together to kick us off.
I thought we already filed for a divorce.
Well, yeah, but that was a separation. That was a separation. And the basic contract law is that you got to offer an acceptance, and the offer's open until it's accepted, and they haven't accepted that offer.
Can I have just a minute?
Yes, you can.
So basically what we're concerned about is we don't want to leave anything that would benefit our community. We don't want to lose that.
That's right.
So that's a allotment of $35 million for the East Texas area.
Correct.
And we had, what, last year, did we have like 8 loans in our county?
6.
6 loans in our county,
Yeah.
Van Wheeler, Canton, Van,
Wait.
Wills Corner.
8, you're correct. 8 for 1.7 million.
So it did benefit some of our people.
There,
But then the other member, Mr. Reese, said that anything that this board can do, the private sector can do.
Yeah.
That is what he said.
That's what he said.
As long as the pool funds are available, is my understanding. If the pool, and Scott can address this a little bit more. My understanding, when funds are gone, they're gone.
right.
So.
That would be whether we agreed or not.
No, if you've got part of your reservation and you've got some set aside, you're gonna get up to.
But when those are gone, they're
They're
gone.
gone.
That was the larger point, is that all,
Gone before your set aside funds. are
Correct.
gone. I mean, Scott.
but
needs
he's
to
already
address
said that that he hadn't run out of them in the last 5 years anyway.
Well, I've been participating when we did USDA loans and the pool did run out.
Sure,
About
absolutely.
September, and so those people that wanted to buy couldn't buy a house until the next year when the funds were reallocated.
Go right ahead, Mitch. I'm sorry for.
No, I'm good. I'm just trying to work through it in my mind.
Yeah,
Like, the few people that talk to me about it, that there's a little yellow flag, but it's not a major yellow flag. We have a little yellow flag up saying there's no accountability with it. It's a government entity that has an executive board that has no accountability. And we have no voice in it. And that's what we're concerned about. But we're also concerned about not having that $35 million available to us in East Texas. So like how much does it weigh out? Like, you understand what I'm saying? How big, where's the weight at? Like, how does that weigh out? Does the not having accountability with that executive board weigh more than us worrying about the 8 that might get the loan this year? How big a thing is accountability with this court? I guess that's what's on trial right here.
Right.
How big accountability? Because when we say that, like, is it a big thing with this court to be accountable? And I think it is.
Well, I would also say that since we announced our divorce last year and they still did, 8 loans,
Right.
it seems like something's incongruent.
So, well, but by doing a resolution, as we pass the motion that you passed, we don't have to deliver to them the resolution until they agree to put somebody on the executive committee and they provide us with 5 years of financial data. So we can, so that would determine whether or not they're going to.
The financial data that I'm asking for is third-party audited financial data.
Well, they've already admitted they don't have third-party financial audited data. So.
And we're down to one representative? Or do we have
Yes, we're
two?
down.
I thought we had one resign.
Yeah,
But he did resign, yes.
He resigned.
So it'd just be up to her.
But they didn't acknowledge his resignation, so I don't know whether.
Well, they didn't take our horse papers either.
Yeah.
All right, well, there's a motion on the table. Is there a second?
I'm not sure what the motion is.
The motion is that
Motion.
we'll agree to the resolution of joining if they put somebody on the executive committee and give us the financial reports.
So they don't have to have third party auditing.
Well, they don't have it anyway.
They don't
Well, I mean,
have,
I thought
they don't have
I
it.
thought just part of your, but we
Well,
took that off.
Yeah, I'm just want the financial information.
I can second that.
Okay, motion has been made and seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Pose like sign. Motion passes. So we have passed the resolution with conditions, is what it amounts to. Thank you, gentlemen. Y'all may leave now if you so desire. Or you can listen to us talk about
Great stuff.
many other things happening in Van Zandt County. It's up to y'all. All right, item number 6 is completed. Item number 7, discuss, consider authorizing the county judge to sign amendment number 1 of a memo of understanding for Texas Community Development Block Grant Program contract number CDV 23-0273 regarding indemnification of Van Zandt County. This is a community block development program. It's for the Little Hope More to install a pipeline, and Commissioner Williams rightfully asked that we just basically are a bank, and we pay the bills and then we get reimbursed. But Commissioner Williams asked that we have indemnification, and our attorney has put together an amendment to that agreement contract to give us the indemnification, and that's what this agenda item is for. So is there a motion to authorize the amendment number 1?
I'd make a motion to authorize county judge to sign amendment number 1 of this memorandum.
All right, is there a second?
I'll second it.
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, like sign. Motion passes. All right, item number 8, discuss and consider allocation of surplus vehicles from the constables and sheriff's department. And we had discussed this in the budget meetings concerning having we have 2 constables that have 2 vehicles because they got their new vehicle and nothing has ever occurred with their second one. And we have discussed in the budget meeting, whatnot, but Commissioner Collins, Constable Collins, Tahoe to go to the emergency management to replace the 2007 Tahoe that she's currently using, and that the Tahoe from Commissioner Heath Burton, Constable Heath Burton would go to the fire marshal in that regard. And then we have the sheriff's department provide us a list of 8 Tahoes that are to be decommissioned. And upon talking with them yesterday, they've rethinking the decommissioning part of them from the standpoint that they didn't get the allocation to buy 5 vehicles this year, but only 3. And so they may try to get some of these back into working condition, but they're not going to need all of them, especially in 2008. So we need to do it. But 2 things I need to do is, one is, we had talked about when we decommission these or we transfer them to other departments to actually credit the department that has the vehicle and charge the department that is getting the vehicle a certain amount. And looking at the value, and these are normal not commercial, but Chevrolet Tahoes with 150,000 miles, run roughly from 15,000, valued at 15,000 to 22,000. And I would think that with being a police vehicle, it's a little bit rougher. It would probably not be that near that much. 15,000, I think, would be the top amount that we could use to transfer. So I'm just looking for guidance on how much to allocate between departments for the transfer of these vehicles, for those 2 vehicles that we know are going to the fire marshal and the emergency management.
So you're saying that you feel like 15,000 per vehicle would be
I think that would be fair.
fair
Except for the one that's not running.
with the,
No,
well, we're just
talking about 2 right now, or
the 2
3.
constables,
3.
basically.
The 2 constables, and there'll be 1 in the sheriff's department that's going to go to the fire marshal also.
And they all have roughly 150,000.
That is correct. 150 to 180.
Have we had communication or conversation with the constables or the sheriff's office on this topic? I haven't personally.
I have talked to Constable Corrin about his, and he was all, he said, giving guidance on, it's in good condition and what we needed to do to get it reconditioned or to get the graphics off. And so I have not talked to Constable Heath Burton about his yet. and again, I talked to the sheriff yesterday and they're reconsidering and they may use some of these. So once they get their thoughts down on what's left available, what I'd like to do then is what are we going to do with the remaining ones? Because my main concern is we're paying insurance on all these vehicles
Yeah.
and they're sitting there, and that is not it's wasteful.
Yeah,
And
that's
so I'd like to get rid of them. Do we want to go out to auction? Take them out to auction? Or should we consider donations to volunteer fire departments?
When they go, like for the sheriffs, when they go to auction, does that money go back into their budget or does that go back into the general?
I don't know how that has occurred in the past. In the past, I believe, well,
I would.
pretty much road, if it follows the same pattern as road and bridge,
Yeah.
you got the money back, right?
I haven't sold anything yet.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm sure it probably goes back on road and bridge, it probably goes back to road and bridge.
I would think, I would think it, if we're gonna transfer credits on the constable stuff, that if the sheriff's department chooses to keep one and get rid of 7, then if he chooses to go to auction with them, that money go back into his budget,
I agree.
not the general.
Okay.
We have somebody wants to speak out there.
When they go to auction from departments, it does go back to the sale of proceeds to their line item to that department.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay. So we don't
Thank
need
you.
that is,
We don't have to do nothing on it,
right.
if that's the case.
But the question would be if we wanted to donate them to volunteer fire departments, then that credit won't come.
Yeah.
So I would assume we would just want to go out to auction. Is that
I would
correct?
think so.
Okay.
So I have a question on the insurance thing. So if we park a vehicle in my yard and I say, I'm not going to use this right now, but I don't want to get rid of it, do we have to have it insured if I give you the keys?
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Even if it's sitting in the yard?
Yes, we do. And I'm sure we have
Cause I don't
comprehensive.
have to at my house.
I don't
So,
know that.
Like I can park a
If
vehicle in
one
my
of
yard.
your guys runs a truck, and a truck gets away from him and runs into it in your yard.
Yeah.
You know, then it's covered.
It's what,
Or somebody steals it.
that's what I was fixing to say.
Right.
It
Okay,
may,
the
it's not something that is a state requirement that you keep insurance on it in your yard or at the,
Self-insured.
That's our
but
policy.
that's more, I would hope that was more our policy.
That
we
policy
did
caused me
do-
to lose half a fleet.
Protecting the asset.
Yes, yes.
I'm just saying that policy caused me to lose about half a fleet. I just don't know if it's, I agree with the policy, but I don't know if I agree with it or not.
Well,
Anyways, I'm struggling, this is our policy, so I'm just.
it becomes a administrative nightmare if you keep adding and dropping these vehicles, even though we don't get rid of them from the policy. Because then they get used back in service but they're not covered. That's the problem.
And they don't take time to check and make sure it's covered if they need it.
Right.
They just use it. So
Well, my
there's a
guys,
liability big time.
I could control that in my yard. Okay.
All right, so is there a motion to transfer Tahoes between the fire marshal and the sheriff and the constables for a value of $15,000, and the remaining surplus vehicles be put out for auction, out to pasture?
Okay, you have 2 vehicles from the constable.
Correct.
Is it on the sheriff's office? Yeah, I'm definitely gonna need what vehicle we're talking about for inventory purposes, so. I mean, I can get that later, but I definitely need to know what that good for.
Well, I don't know the inventory number. I got,
I gotta.
well, I do. The inventory number is on here. Well, except for the 2008. So, did y'all get that motion?
Did we make one?
Yes.
It hasn't been made.
All right. Is there a motion to transfer the Chevy Tahoes between the constables the sheriff's department and the fire marshal and the emergency management in the amount of $15,000. And that the remaining surplus vehicles from the sheriff's department be put out for auction.
Let's clarify that a little more, Judge. I know you said it the way you did, but the two constable vehicles are going where?
One's going to the fire marshal,
Okay,
one is going to emergency management,
okay, and then the sheriff's one is going where?
to the fire marshal.
So the fire marshal getting two.
That is correct. We got 2 new employees.
So
Their vehicles
the fire marshal is gonna owe a constable 15,000 and the sheriff's department 15,000.
Correct.
Okay.
And emergency management will owe the constable
I
50,000.
don't think
And
I
all,
put any money in the emergency management.
we did 20,000, with 20,000 is.
Okay, and then the remaining 7 goes to auction. If that's what
I
he
didn't- I
chooses,
didn't put a number, I just put the remaining surplus vehicles.
if that's what the sheriff
Yeah.
chooses.
Right.
I'll make that motion.
Okay. All right, motion has been made. Is there a second?
I'll second the motion.
All right, any further discussion?
So we know that the fire marshal's good with that.
Yes. You good with?
The price he's gonna have to pay for those cars.
Yes, it's in his budget. We budgeted 20,000
In the fire marshal,
in the fire marshal,
but he's gonna owe 30.
20,000 each.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry,
Okay.
2 vehicles,
Okay.
40,000 total.
Okay.
So and that will still give them money available to outfit it and to
Take the.
graphics.
Yeah,
Do the
take the
graphics.
graphics also.
Okay.
No, I understand. I'll go with that.
Is there any further discussion?
Yeah, we're having one. Up.
Okay. Yeah, and I don't know the exact amount. It's kind of hard to get the exact amount what each vehicle costs insurance wise on an annual or monthly basis, but
What's it gonna cost the fire marshal to rig it out for his, like, what's it gonna cost him once he gets that car? Is he gonna, I guess he's got it in his budget to equip it back?
he had, I believe, $50,000 in his budget for vehicles.
Pretty much all he's gonna have to change is the names on them.
Right, because they already have radios.
They already have lights, radios. All he's gonna have to do, I seen the one up there, precinct 3, constable. Pretty much all that he'll have to change out is the letters on the side where it says constable
Right.
and put fire marshal on somewhere, if he chooses here. Yeah, but I
Okay.
don't know what that costs.
Okay.
Shouldn't, I mean,
All right.
it's not cheap, but
Any more discussion? All right, I'm gonna call a vote. All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you, gentlemen. Item number 9, discuss emergency service districts use of the county website. The auditor's department is actually responsible for ensuring that the ESDs have audited financial statements, and the ESDs have to submit them to us. And that's why, actually, I think it's on today in the consent agenda. It is item number I, accept the audited financial statement ending September 30th, 2024. So anyway, the county is involved with maintaining, watching the ESDs, making sure that they're getting financial statements. And when that all came about, they set up areas on our website for the ESDs to maintain the data and information that they do. So we were basically hosting it. But what has since happened is 3 of the 4 ESDs have actually got their own website. They're doing their own hosting of their website and doing the posting they have to post all the tax information and notices about tax rates and budget, just like we do. And so they posted on their website. Emergency District 4, which is Wills Point, is using our website. They're hosting on our website. Well, our Sarah that does the county's website is making major changes, and they're actually going to be big upgrades to the county, to our software or hosting in the next year, next into 2026. And they are also going to be charging us based on the number of pages we have. And so I met with, I was at the Emergency Service District Force board meeting last night, and I asked if it would be possible for them to move, I didn't ask them, I just said they needed to move their website off to their own host and not host it off of ours in that regard. And they were in agreement with that. And I don't know that we need to vote on this. I just want to kind of explain why the upgrade to our system was going to cost us, I don't know if it's almost double, but it's going to be significant. It's in order to be compliant with whatever changes they have to make websites. I believe ADA compliant. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but it's going to be a major amount of work to do. And so what I'm trying to do is to whittle down all of the things that are on our website before we go into this major update. So are there any questions about that? All the other ESDs have their own website, and I think and I told them, I said, we will put links on our website to your website so that there is that transparency, but we just don't need to be hosting it on there because of the amount of information that has to get conveyed, and what we may have to be paying to do that. So, all right. No, there's no action there. I just want to convey that. Item number 10, discuss, consider travel reimbursement for part-time transfer station attendant.
This is this is my issue here. Precinct 2's had the transfer station there, and they collect funds for the public citizens' use of the transfer station for a long time, long before I got here. And those monies are delivered here to the courthouse generally the following week. And we learned a couple months into my time being here that those individuals who work at the transfer station weren't being paid for their time to come here and deliver the funds and then get back home. And so I made a change last year during the prior administration. By that I mean that she was working here part-time. She had an automobile accident and then stopped working here. And so after at the end of her tenure, we were paying her an hour to bring the stuff up here and get back home. She doesn't live that far from here, so her total investment of time was about 1 hour to get here. She spends time while they go through all those, and then she drives back home. Somebody who shall remain nameless said, well, hey, why don't you go back and get all of your reimbursements for the time prior to when this project was started? And so I received in the office a request for payment from beginning March 9th of 2024. And this was figured up as mileage rather than hourly. I learned from the auditor's office that we don't have a line item for mileage in precinct 2. That's the reason why we give her an hour of time. We were giving her an hour of time to get here and do that. But these have all been turned in. So the bottom line of this is that they're asking for a little more than $700 in travel reimbursement. You remember the exact amount of that, Keegan? 780 some dollars for the months of February, or rather March, April, May. These are all of 24, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February, and then March is when I learned that she was not being paid for this time and began adding that 1 hour of time to, and then she ended her work with us, I believe, in about May. So March, the end of March, all of April and May, when she was working with us, she was compensated for her time to deliver those monies. So there were a couple of opinions that came in. The first opinion from our attorney is that you can't, and perhaps the auditor can provide some additional color on this, and the attorney's office is here with us today. But you can't pay out of 25 monies, number one, for prior years, and number two, that if it's over a certain dollar amount, you have to have a purchase order. And there was no purchase order associated with this. And so I didn't know if perhaps with the auditors here, the attorney's office here, and us, if we can see if we can come to some kind of understanding or some solution for this problem.
Well, mileage is an expense report and it's not, there's no PO required for that.
Yeah, but we don't have mileage on precinct 2, so I couldn't pay it as mileage anyway. That's the reason why we do an hour. But that does solve the PO
So,
problem.
What account are you paying it out of, or considering paying it out of?
Well, we paid it out of just out of payroll because we credit her 1 hour. We give her one additional hour. We were giving her 1 hour. Our current transfer station is not her, but we give 1 hour for the time that they spend driving up here and turning that in and then driving back home.
Okay. So what are we looking at reimbursing now if we paid it an hour at a time?
Did you figure up the difference on that?
Then 42, 48, the last page with that error on the lodging. That she had been paid an hour, each time she came up here to pay since December 2024. So I haven't figured out what the difference.
It says here on the last page of this, and I think, do you gave them all a copy of this yesterday?
It's in the book.
This is in the book that there's lodging amount. It says 3 on here, and actually, I have no idea what the 3 on the lodging is. There's no number associated with it. So I'm sure that there was not necessity for lodging as it relates to turning these monies in for here. So the total amount just went $780. And Judge, what about the issue related to the time period?
Well, again, that's more of an auditor question, but it would be my understanding that commissioners can approve this just like on an expense that's over 45 days, we can approve an expense that's backdated. I don't know. Again, auditor would be the one to say whether or not we can do that.
Mr. Costa, do you have input?
So you're looking at going back to the 2025 budget, which is already being closed out. From an auditor standpoint, I don't know if you can actually do that. So that's where those funds.
The 2025 budget has not been closed out. I mean, the budget's been closed out, but the expenses, the statements have not been closed out. So you could still charge it to 2025.
That was received by September
30th. And of course, this is that we've got this. Now, part of it is my error. I had it for 2 weeks. I had it, about the 20th of September, and I'm going through it trying to reconcile everything, and I didn't get it. I didn't complete mine before that end of September. So part of that is, is my error.
But you already had received it before
Yes,
the end of
yes.
September, so that should still qualify, right? To be able to take care of it.
You're at all like the email that we sent out regarding POs and purchases, everything has to be received in hand or incurred by September 30th.
And it was.
Take the project for service by September 30th.
So it had been received. Yeah, I would say it counts to be payable, if that's what we chose to do.
We just need to clarify because from the dates, it was like it was March of 24 to February 25, but Keating stated she had been paid for December of 24, so we definitely need to get those dates figured out.
Actually, well, that's where, because the new budget, that's the first. So anything prior to that,
Would be in the prior year even, so this splits those two, that this is last year's budget and the year prior's budget. Okay.
Yes.
You can't go into the year prior though, can you?
4 to 9/30 or 25.
I don't think.
So what I'm understanding from March of 24 to September of 24, we can't do. But from September or October 1st, 24 till now, to whenever he
Right,
started.
right.
Can pay.
I would agree with that.
Keegan, do you know the hourly rate? What was 1 hour? What we're paying 1 hour for? So the difference is difference between 1440 and 1416. So it's practically the same. So is what she's asking. So if we just moved it to 1440, then my motion would be that we approve those occurring from October 1 of 24 to March of 25 at $14.40, which will come out of my payroll budget for now. Precinct 2, it's my understanding the auditor's office has mentioned that Precinct 2 transfer station is cash positive. And I also believe that at the end of year last year, we still had money in our employee payroll budget in order to cover this. So we wouldn't have to make any appropriation.
So you recommended that it come from the salaries line.
Salaries line. That's where we draw it from now.
So are you making that a motion?
I'm making that motion October 1, 24 to.
So I think I understood you right. Instead of you're upping her hourly pay for this to make it compensate for what she's asked for.
No, I'm not. What she's asked for is mileage, and it comes in at $14.16. I'm giving her hourly rate of $14.60 or $14.40, and paying from October 1 through.
I will second that.
And we're good,
Well-
we're good with that.
You technically cannot call it salary because then that goes through, it requires FICA and all the other benefits if you do it as a salary. So it's gonna be
You don't
more.
have to set up line items for travel.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, we've done it. We have put it in the salary line item since we started making these reimbursements. So the reimbursement would be at $14.40, and the appropriate amount of FICA, et cetera, we would put into those line items.
you know, by law, you have to withhold those amounts. It's all.
Right.
So is that what we're staying at?
That's what my motion is, unless it fails.
Or I mean, I've already said it, but now I've got Are we legally on that? Okay,
If you call it salary, you just have to hold the appropriate withholding.
okay.
You'd be okay there.
Well, there's a whole other list of issues in there, but I'm not gonna go into them. So,
Yeah, well, are we legally gonna be able to do that?
because they've already had their W-2s filed for 2024. And it
They
does,
would have to follow them in.
Well, is it necessary to file an amendment with the IRS, if they're paid in this and we just send her a W-2 for this year?
Cash basis, people on a cash basis, so whatever you gave this year, the W-2 this year.
That's right.
If they pay in before, there's nothing to do.
okay, so it can, okay, that resolves that problem.
And we can check with her. Maybe she pays on accrual basis. We don't want to be hasty.
That's a number.
I think they all, I certainly pay on cash basis.
All right. So are you still good with your second? All right. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Opposed, like sign. Motion passes. And can we get a total number so that we can put in the minutes? Okay, I just need to get a total number to put in the minutes. All right, item number 11, discuss, consider adopting rules of procedure, conduct, decorum policy for meetings of the County Commissioners Court. We conducted a workshop on this back in August or September, and this is just formalizing the decisions we made, and it's in the binder of what was there. So is there a motion to approve the rules, procedures, conduct, and decorum policy for the meetings of the County Commissioners Court?
One question, if we vote on this and approve those as they are, and we come down here in a couple of weeks and we decide that we need to make some change, can we still bring an amendment to those?
I don't know why not.
Okay.
Oh.
Then
because it also establishes our meeting dates, or
Yes.
I think we'll put that in there. And there may be, if some point in time we want to change our meeting dates, then we can amend it.
I would make a motion to adopt the rules of procedure, conduct, and decorum for meetings of the Commissioners Court as published.
All right, motion is made. Is there a second? It's your turn.
Second.
Motion has been made and second. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Opposed, like sign. Motion fails. Item number 12, discuss, consider issuing an RFP for courthouse window restoration documents provided by Komatsu Architects. And as you know, we signed an agreement with Komatsu to come up with all the engineering design work and then go out and do an RFP for window restoration on the courthouse. And what they have done that, here's their preliminary right here with all the drawings and pictures. They came out here with a drone and took pictures of every single window, and they have them in here, half of them in here. They don't have them all in there yet. They're still working on that. But what I would like to do, and considering budget time, we cut our building restoration or improvements from 500,000 to 250,000 last year. Then that changes what I want to do as far as, or what I think we should do. I'll get your input on the restoration, but we still, what I would like to do is go and do the get a RFP to replace the windows on the 5th floor for the jail. And the reason being those windows are different than all the other windows in the courthouse. And they're relatively easy, and I think that we can easily get it done under $200,000. And the advantage of us, we're moving forward here. You know, eventually we hope to get a restoration grant. We don't know when that's going to occur. So this will allow us to get some work done, and it will actually reduce the cost of a restoration grant later on. So I'm trying to find.
And I think the 5th floor is an area that we really need. It's got so many documents in there that we really need to be cautious about climate control, and we need to be careful about those documents. And
Well, that's the other thing that I'm working on is the documents, a plan. I'm coming up with a plan on what to do with the documents, because we can, what I really like to do is move them out of the courthouse, and so that we can archive and identify what we need. And there may be documents that we don't need to keep anymore. They may be digitized and we don't have to keep them, so we can get rid of those. And then the ones that are in the binders, the really old stuff, to get that indexed, or not indexed, but listed, what we've got, so that we can start working on a plan for the storage of them in the future. So let's see, east. Oh, there's the pictures.
And there are far fewer windows on the 5th floor than there are on some of the others, that's my understanding.
What page is that? I think it's 94. And they're different style. Level 6. Level 5. Well, I can't see it to scroll over. Can't get over there. So anyway, there's about 35 windows on the 5th floor, and they're like 4 panes. And anyway, I would like to get authorization to move forward with that. And then I'm going to get also have the RFP for year 2 to come in with some windows, the other windows that we could start on, either on the front or on the back. But I haven't decided that yet. But I want to. The RFP will serve for 2 years. Is what it would be. But the first year would be for the windows on the 5th floor, and then the second year would be for something else. And the reason I do that, because the windows on the 5th floor, I don't believe will require scaffolding. I believe they can do them from the inside of the 5th floor. What they would do is actually just take them out, take the frames out. They would treat them, prime them, they would sand them down, they would prime them, they would put the windows in, and then they would into the frames, and then put the frame back in. And they may need, they could use a skyjack to actually work on the outside and not have to put scaffolding up. That's kind of why I think it would be a lower cost in that regard. So is there a motion to allow me to move forward with an RFP for window restoration for year 1 and 2?
I'd make a motion to issue a RFP for courthouse window restoration.
All right,
Second.
it's Bob's turn.
Oh, I second that.
Too late, yeah, Bobby.
We're
We're slow, buddy.
All right, motion been made, second. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Motion passes. Item number 13, discuss and consider a resolution regarding a contract for the purpose of financing a 2023 Volvo Smooth Drum model number SD115B, serial number 237297, by board contract number 685-22 for precinct 1.
Yeah, that's mine. Yeah, we've changed, this year we've had to go through a lot of changes on how we approach road work. So basically, we're doing a lot of stabilization and base work on our roads, and I didn't have a vibratory drum roller. Actually, I need 2 rollers, but this year I rented one, and from who did I rent that? Romco?
Same place you're buying it from, yeah.
Yeah, and actually who I rented it from, I think. And in that rental agreement, they said if I wanted to keep it and purchase it, they would take most of the money that I paid on rental off of the price of it. A new unit is about 150. I didn't get an exact quote on a new unit, but the unit I got is low hours and in really good shape. They have a very good maintenance program on their rental equipment. So I just decided, because I had to keep it longer than I wanted to because we had so much rain in June, I got behind. I just decided to go ahead and purchase it because I will probably be using one from now on. So, propose to finance it for 3 years so that I don't leave any debt to the next person, if I'm not reelected. And I have a line item for that already, I think $75,000 on equipment payments. So everything should be in order.
And how much is it?
It was 80,000, I think I think it was 85,000 to purchase it outright to begin with, and then,
There it is up there on the screen.
yeah, I got a warranty with it, a 3-year warranty. My payment's gonna be like 28,000 for a year, for 3 years, so.
Okay, one of the things that I wanted to mention is, in some of the paperwork I saw, they were adding in a 4,600 for an invoice that hadn't been paid. That 4,600 is actually on today's bill payment, so
Yeah.
we need to decide if we're going to. We probably shouldn't pay it and put it in part of the financing. I don't know. We just got to make sure that you do that. But and
What-
did we decide on government capital, or are we going to use the Volvo financing?
Whichever one's cheaper.
Years fall.
Right, so.
I got a response from them, I checked as well.
Okay.
There are certain clauses that have to be in the contracts, terms, conditions, for those financing agreements. Volvo will not do that, not right now, so.
Okay.
We're gonna use government capital.
Very good. Government capital it is. So, and the total price is what, 85,000?
That's with the warranty.
With the warranty.
Want that $600 or whatever, we put in with the financing, yeah. Yeah, that used to be paid today.
Okay.
So if they don't
Agreed.
put that in there, it will be 80?
I thought
Or
they
is it
were
already-
going to reduce the price of that we were buying it.
If we pay it
from
today.
the payments that were made for the rental, is my understanding.
Well, but the paying what is it, $4,000?
4,600.
Yeah, it's
4,600
$4,600 a month.
If we pay the 4,600 today, which is already in the payments, I mean, already in
I
the,
think, is it in there? Did they put it in? He just said I need to make sure I got it done before the end of October. This would be good through the end of October.
there's something 4,000 plus unpaid invoice 4,600. It's
I think one unpaid invoice was due to the fact that I think that payment was due October 1st or 2nd, and the budget had not been approved yet, so therefore that payment was on.
No, that 4,600 is not part of it's part of the old budget. It was rental.
So what I'm saying here is if we go ahead and pay the 4,600 now, the total price of that comes down to 80,000 something.
Right.
So why pay, if it's already in the bills, why pay interest on $4,600 over the next 3 years
Well,
in his payments list?
it's more of an accounting issue. Are we buying it for 85,000 or are we buying it for 80,000? That's what are we putting it on the books for? That's the question that's going to come up.
What is the finance page showing? What if they break down the rest of them?
But it shows 80,000. And then a 5,500 warranty. I can't find,
Let's be on the government capital breakdown.
Go back to it.
All right. I think that's, I don't know if it's,
here it is right here. 6, 7, 8, 9.
Yeah, look right there. But now that's financing the full amount.
So what is that
Where's the
last, what
4,000?
is the dates on the last payment? What are the dates on the last rental?
that we're down here. There are the rentals, I believe, right there.
I got an invoice for 9/11.
That's the last one that has not been paid for 4,600.
And then it
You got
shows,
June, July, August, 4 months. at $4,600.
Right. Which brought the principal balance down to 7803. Yeah, there may be a mistake in that, Bobby. 7855,
And then you put 5 on top of that for the warranty.
correct.
So you're looking at 83. I can't read them last numbers. 83.3.
I'll blow it up here in just a second. I gotta find the little screen.
I can read it now. Yeah.
Hmm.
So we just know we're gonna be financing it for something less than $85,000.
They gave me a rental credit of 11,040 on it. And so they didn't take the full amount of the rental off. But that's what he told me, a portion of it would come off, so.
So what do we want to do here?
We're financing 80,000 on the machine and 5,000 on the. That ain't right.
Do we need to table this until we get it correct?
Well, if I table it and we roll into another month, then we'll have to redo the whole contract.
Yeah.
I don't know if that'll cost me more or less.
So this Ronco deal's off. I mean, we can't use them, right?
Not for finance.
Not for financing. All right.
Table it.
So it looks like
We want to
Your
call a
bid-
special meeting next week, we can.
I don't.
Can we-
under-
Do what? What'd you say, Bobby?
I don't understand where your principal balance when you started
Yeah.
reading it was 82,304. And then down at the bottom, it says beginning balance of 84. So they've jumped the price
Yeah,
up
something
some.
changed there, didn't it?
They jumped the price up some now that you want to buy it versus what it was worth whenever you started renting it.
Let's table it.
Yeah.
Do you have time to do something next week? Can y'all do something?
Yeah,
next
I
week?
have another item I'd like to put on it.
Oh, that's not
meeting.
why we're doing this.
So,
That's funny.
well,
Bobby,
if you
Bobby,
can't
you
do
have-
my item,
can
I
you
don't
give me
want to do yours.
30, 40 minutes next week?
Yeah.
Okay,
15.
so
15 minutes.
is there a motion to table?
I'll make a motion to table it.
Second?
I second.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Uh,
Very good. Item number 14, consent agenda. Consent agenda are items that consider routine by Commissioner Court will be enacted in one motion. There will be no separate discussion on these items unless the county judge or commissioner request an item be removed from the consent agenda considered separately. Are there any items in the consent agenda that needs to be removed or discussed separately? If not, is there a motion to accept the consent?
Did you have something on that?
No,
Motion to accept consent agenda.
no, I already just.
Okay.
They're in there for your review, if you'd like to look at them. All right, motions are made. Is there a second?
Second.
It's Mitch's turn.
Okay.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Motion passes. Item number 15, is there a motion to adjourn?
No, I want, can I revisit something?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
No, I'm serious.
Yes.
Can I revisit the
What-
first, the fire, the burn ban? Just for a
Yes.
second.
Yes,
So did we, in our motion, did we give the fire marshal authority to
to take the burn ban down if, when conditions are.
so he doesn't have the authority to do a
established.
burn ban,
Right.
but he can take one down?
Yes, he can. If we give him
If we give
authority,
him authority.
we give him authority to do that.
And I can kind of understand why on that, Mitch, because if for some reason, say right after that, we were already on a burn ban and tomorrow it starts raining and rains for
Okay.
2 or 4 days, then he would have to wait 2 weeks to come back and for us to release the burn ban. Or if we do it this way, if he
Right.
does his job right and everything, then he can automatically release it without having to wait 2 weeks to come back to us. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. I'm good with that, okay.
All
So
right.
do we need to make another motion to adjourn?
No,
I seconded it.
all right. All those in favor of adjourning, say aye. Wait, what if I don't vote? Oh, I guess it two
Two to
two's
one, you gotta
good.
look.
Two's good.
You gotta
All right. We are adjourned at 10:59, 11 o'clock.
This no win, so you gotta look. There go, Judge.
I didn't get, let me
Do your job, dude. What'd I do? What'd I do?
I just want to shake the hand.
How are you, sir? You doing all right?
That's impossible with this job.
Why?
They told me this was gonna be a quick meeting today.
Yeah.
Who is they? Ah.
Oh, let's get a quick one.
She just wanted to hear you raise Kate because it wasn't.
I'll get her later. Some of her love. I don't know if it works for us. Y'all take care.
All right.
How are you, sir?